Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Linda Parker, cardiologist and senior health specialist, and today I want to speak with you from the heart, quite literally. For decades, many of you have been told a dangerous half-truth, that if a little exercise is good, then pushing yourself to the absolute limit must be even better. No pain, no gain. If you're not drenched in sweat, it doesn't count. These slogans were created for young athletes, not for a 72-year-old heart that has already carried you through a lifetime of joys, worries, and challenges. Yet this mindset has quietly slipped into gyms, online programs, and senior fitness trends all over the world. And that's exactly why, after 70, there is one popular form of exercise I want you to stop doing in the way it's commonly promoted. Not because I want you to move less, but because I want you to stay alive, independent, and strong for as many years as possible. The dangerous trend I'm talking about is unsupervised, high-intensity, all-out cardio workouts. The kind you see in many boot camps, aggressive gym classes, and anyone can do it online routines. I'm not talking about a brisk walk that leaves you pleasantly winded or light intervals tailored to your capacity. I'm talking about the type of exercise that demands you push your heart rate close to maximum, gasp for air, ignore chest tightness, and keep going because the instructor or video says, "Don't quit now, this is where the magic happens." For someone in their 30s with a healthy cardiovascular system, that might be uncomfortable but safe. For many people over 70, especially those with silent heart disease, high blood pressure, or stiff arteries, it can be the moment when the heart crosses a line it cannot uncross. Let me explain the problem in a simple, practical way. After 70, your heart is still capable of adapting, getting stronger, and benefiting greatly from movement. But it is also more vulnerable to sudden spikes in heart rate, spikes in blood pressure, spikes in oxygen demand. Over the years, your arteries may have become stiffer and narrower. Your heart muscle may have tiny scars from past stress, infections, or minor, silent events you never even felt. Your electrical system, the nerves that keep the rhythm regular, may be more fragile. When you suddenly force this system into an all-out sprint, especially without a warm-up, supervision, or a recent checkup, you create the perfect storm for rhythm disturbances, dangerous blood pressure surges, and in some cases, heart attacks that could have been prevented. The popular high-intensity style I want you to rethink usually looks like this: short, explosive bursts of very hard effort with minimal rest, often combined with jumping, fast changes of direction, and exercises that force you to hold your breath while straining. It might be a spin class where the instructor keeps yelling, "Faster, faster," until your legs are on fire and you feel dizzy. It might be an online beginner HIIT for seniors routine where the instructor is in their 40s moving like a machine and you feel pressured to keep up. It might even be uphill sprints, stair runs, or aggressive treadmill intervals that you started because someone told you, "This is the best way to burn fat and protect your heart." The problem is not movement. The problem is the combination of intensity, speed, and peer pressure in a body that has different limits and different needs. When you exercise at that extreme level after 70, several things happen inside your chest. Your heart rate rises rapidly, sometimes too rapidly. If your arteries are narrowed by plaque, they cannot always deliver enough blood to the heart muscle at that speed. Imagine trying to water a large garden through a narrow, old hose while suddenly turning the faucet to maximum. The hose shakes, strains, and may even rupture. In your body, that strain can show up as chest tightness, pressure in the jaw or arms, unusual shortness of breath, or simply a strange feeling of fear or discomfort that you try to ignore. At the same time, your blood pressure can spike dramatically. If you have a history of hypertension or stiff arteries, this sudden surge can stress not only the heart, but also the brain. increasing the risk of dangerous events, especially if you also hold your breath while performing intense movements. Another hidden danger is rhythm disturbance, or arrhythmia. The aging heart is more likely to develop irregular beats, especially when pushed suddenly and forcefully. Many people over 70 have small areas of fibrosis, tiny scars in the heart tissue. Under high stress, those areas can become electrical troublemakers, sending signals that make the heart beat too fast, too unevenly, or even slip into serious rhythm problems. Some people describe it as heart flutters, thumping in my chest, or the sensation that the heart is skipping. Others feel lightheaded, nauseous, or as if the room is spinning. In a younger, well-trained body, high-intensity exercise can sometimes trigger temporary arrhythmias that resolve on their own. In a 75-year-old with hidden heart disease, the same trigger can become the first step in a chain of events that ends in hospitalization. Now, does this mean that everyone over 70 must avoid any form of intensity forever? No. Human bodies are wonderfully individual. There are 80-year-olds who have trained consistently for decades, been carefully evaluated, and still run races under professional supervision. But they are the exception, not the rule. Most people in their 70s and 80s did not grow up with structured fitness from childhood. They may have accumulated high blood pressure, mild diabetes, extra weight, joint problems, or simply years of sitting. Their hearts are often deconditioned, but also more fragile. When this group suddenly jumps into high-intensity routines because a video says, "For all ages," that's when I, as a cardiologist, become deeply concerned. Think about how many seniors you know who decided to get serious about exercise after a scare, a friend's heart attack, a worrying test result, a harsh comment about their weight. Motivated by fear, they join a gym, sign up for the hardest class on the schedule, or click on a trendy online challenge that promises fast results. On day one, they push far beyond their current capacity because they don't want to appear weak. Their face turns red, they can't complete their sentences, but they keep going because everyone else seems to manage. Maybe nothing dramatic happens that day, but inside the arteries, small plaques may crack. Inside the heart, delicate tissue is stressed. Inside the brain, blood pressure surges. Sometimes the body compensates, sometimes it doesn't. Let me share a simple story that represents what I see far too often. A 74-year-old gentleman, let's call him Robert, decided he wanted to take back control of his health. He had mild high blood pressure, borderline cholesterol, and a belly that had quietly grown over the past 20 years. His doctor told him exercise would be helpful. Instead of starting with walking and gentle strength work, he joined a trendy indoor cycling class marketed as suitable for all ages. On his very first visit, the lights were dim, music loud, instructor enthusiastic. Within minutes, the class was sprinting at high resistance. Robert felt his chest tighten slightly, but he told himself it was just being out of shape. When the instructor shouted, "Push through the pain, this is where you change your life," he turned the resistance even higher. Halfway through, he felt dizzy, nauseous, and had to stop. He ended up in the emergency department later that day with unstable symptoms that could easily have become something far worse. Now imagine a different scenario. A 76-year-old woman, Maria, also decides she wants to be more active. She has arthritis, a history of high blood pressure, and had a mild heart incident in her 60s. Instead of jumping into extreme classes, she starts with 10-minute walks at a pace that lets her speak in short sentences, but not sing. She adds simple chair squats, light wall push-ups, and balance exercises holding onto the kitchen counter. Over weeks, her heart becomes more efficient. Her blood vessels respond more smoothly to exercise. When she later introduces small intervals, 20 seconds of slightly faster walking followed by a full minute of easy pace, her body is ready. Her progress is slower on paper, but safer, steadier, and more sustainable. The key message is this: after 70, the goal of exercise is not to prove how tough you are, but to build a heart that can carry you confidently through everyday life. You want to be able to climb stairs without stopping, carry groceries without gasping, play with grandchildren, travel, and enjoy your independence. You do not need workouts that mimic military training to achieve this. In fact, for many seniors, those extreme sessions move you further away from health, not closer. So what should you do instead of unsupervised, all-out high-intensity workouts? First, shift your mindset from harder is always better to smarter is always better. Your heart loves consistency. Regular, moderate movement performed most days of the week. Walking is one of the most powerful heart-protective exercises we have, especially when done at a comfortable but purposeful pace. If you can talk but not sing while walking, you're usually in a good cardiovascular zone. You don't need to sprint. You need to show up. Start where you are, not where you wish you were. For some people, that means 5 minutes around the house several times a day. For others, it means 20 to 30 minutes in the park. Both are valid beginnings. Second, include gentle strength training. Many seniors think that lifting light weights or using resistance bands is only for building muscle tone, but it also improves blood sugar control, supports healthy blood pressure, and reduces the workload on your heart during daily tasks. When your leg muscles are stronger, your heart doesn't have to work as hard each time you stand up, climb stairs, or walk uphill. Simple exercises such as sit to stand from a chair, holding small water bottles as weights, or slowly rising onto your toes while holding the back of a chair can make a remarkable difference when practiced regularly. Each repetition is a small investment in your future independence. Third, respect the warm-up and cool down. Younger bodies often get away with skipping these steps. Older hearts do not. A warm-up prepares your blood vessels to dilate, allows your heart rate to rise gradually, and reduces the shock to your system. 2 to 5 minutes of very gentle marching in place, ankle circles, shoulder rolls, and slow arm swings can transform the way your heart experiences the workout that follows. After exercising, slowing down gradually and breathing deeply helps your nervous system shift back to a calmer state, reducing the risk of post-exercise dizziness or irregular beats. Fourth, if you do want to include some intensity, do it in a controlled, heart-respectful way, and only after discussing it with your healthcare professional. For example, instead of a brutal, all-out routine, you might add very small intervals, 20 to 30 seconds of slightly faster walking, followed by 60 to 90 seconds of easy pace. Your faster should never feel like panic. You should still be in control of your breathing, your posture, and your ability to stop immediately if you sense anything unusual. The moment you feel chest discomfort, odd pressure in your neck, unusual shortness of breath, cold sweat, or sudden weakness, that is not the time to prove your willpower. That is the time to stop and listen to your body. Fifth, before starting any new exercise program after 70, especially if you've been inactive, have risk factors, or are thinking about joining intense classes, have a conversation with your healthcare provider. Ask direct, practical questions. Is my heart healthy enough for moderate exercise? Do I need any tests before increasing my activity? What signs should make me stop immediately? A brief, honest discussion can prevent months of anxiety and help you choose activities that truly support your heart instead of pushing it into danger. It's also important to talk about pride and comparison. Many seniors push themselves too hard, not because they love intense exercise, but because they don't want to appear weak in front of others. In a group class, they keep up with younger participants out of embarrassment. At home, they follow along with a video that moves too fast because they don't want to click on a gentle or beginner option. I want you to remember this. Wisdom is not doing what looks impressive. Wisdom is doing what keeps you here, alive, and able to enjoy the people you love. No one at your age earns extra points from their heart for suffering through a workout that was never designed for them. I have seen too many older adults whose first serious heart event happened not while resting on the couch, but during a motivational, high-intensity routine they were told would save their life. Sometimes the injury is dramatic and obvious. Other times it is quieter. Lingering fatigue, new breathlessness, unexplained palpitations, or a feeling that something is off after they start an extreme program. When we trace back the timeline, it often leads straight to a class, a challenge, or a routine that demanded too much, too soon. Now, let me balance this with hope, because that is just as important as the warning. Your heart, even at 70, 75, or 80, is not a fragile ornament that must be protected from all effort. It is a living, adaptable muscle that responds beautifully to the right kind of training. When you move regularly at a safe intensity, your heart becomes more efficient, your blood vessels respond more flexibly, your lungs exchange oxygen more smoothly, and your nervous system becomes calmer. Your sleep often improves, your mood stabilizes, your confidence grows. You begin to trust your body again. This transformation does not require punishing workouts. It requires consistency, patience, and respect for your current capacity. Imagine your future self 1 year from now if you choose heart-smart movement instead of ego-driven intensity. You wake up and feel steady as you get out of bed. You walk down the hallway without needing to hold on to the wall. You climb a set of stairs while carrying a light bag of groceries and arrive at the top slightly winded but not exhausted. You join your family on a walk in the park and keep up comfortably. You sit at the table and feel grateful not just to be alive, but to be truly living. This is the reward of wise exercise choices after 70. So when you see that glossy advertisement or trending video promising miraculous results from extreme routines for all ages, I want you to hear my voice in your mind saying, your heart is not 25 anymore, and that is perfectly okay. You do not need to chase youth by copying the workouts of younger generations. You can protect and even improve your heart health by moving in ways that honor your age, your history, and your unique body. Stop doing unsupervised, all-out high-intensity exercise that forces you to ignore warning signs and start embracing moderate, sustainable movement that you can carry into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. If I had to summarize today's message in one powerful sentence, it would be this. After 70, the exercise that keeps you alive is not the one that makes you collapse on the floor, but the one you can repeat tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. It is never too late to protect your heart, rebuild your endurance, and regain confidence in your body. But it must be done in a way that works with your heart, not against it. As we close, I invite you to reflect on your current routine. Are you pushing yourself into exhaustion because you feel guilty or behind? Are you ignoring small warning signs because a program promised quick results? Or are you willing to choose a wiser, more compassionate path that still challenges you but never punishes you? Share this message with someone you care about who might be forcing their heart into dangerous territory without realizing it. And if you'd like to keep learning how to move, eat, and live in a way that supports your heart and your longevity in a realistic, respectful way, I invite you to stay connected, leave your experiences in the comments, and join me in future conversations. I'm Dr. Linda Parker, and I want you to remember, your heart has carried you through a lifetime. It deserves training that honors its age, protects its strength, and allows you to enjoy many more years of active, meaningful life.